Hey, welcome back. We're back after a brief hiatus, and it wasn't entirely by choice to take a little break. It's not the longest that I've ever taken, but it was involuntary. And if you can't tell, I'm a little bit. I might be getting a little something. So just gonna have to bear with on that one. Since last time, I've done a little bit of work on the paths. As you can maybe pick up, I just kind of sprinkled in some of these azalea leaves, and I think that they're making a really nice touch. I finished waxing this up, and so now this is going to actually stay orange. And I think just the very small path changes are looking really good, because I also spread out these fences a bit more. And I continued the path down through here. Now what you're going to see is this building. And this is actually a honeycomb farm that I made for an episode that isn't going to get edited. And I'm really happy with this building. I think it looks really good. I thought it was solid recording. The issue is that editor is also on a bit of a hiatus. You can see it's working pretty well. Editor is also on a bit of a hiatus, and so I've been the one editing. And a lot came up, and I just couldn't get this one finished in time. And it's been so long since the recording that I don't want to look at it. I also made this little tree, which I think I'm going to include the building of this tree, maybe? I don't know. And there was this. This is the Eco smelteria. And so you got these smelt kelp, these smelt cactus. You got a little manual smelter. You can come inside, and you can see I've done a lot of super intensive redstone to make this work, just to make sure that every kelp block that is used for fuel, because it is kelp blocks that get automatically produced and then spread out, every kelp block is distributed equally, all the kelp is distributed equally, and every kelp block should be used to about its full potential. And that way, if we hop down here, you can see that we're actually producing excess kelp blocks, which is exactly what we wanted. Back on the topic of the honeycomb farm real quick, I showed you right here, which is, that's pretty good. Look at all this. This is what the inside looks like. It's kind of madness. Oh, that's not supposed to. Oh, so maybe there's a few bugs other than these. My idea was that the bees can fly outside to do some pollination as well as doing some on the inside. I'm so happy about this building. And I'm going to give some space right here to insert the bit with this tree. Okay, we're back in the present day. So, there was one more thing that I did, which is I just kind of moved this path out a little bit to make things a bit more connected. We got this little line now. I really like this bit. And finally, the house is connected to everything else. And we're feeling just so much more connected together. You have an actual cohesive vibe about this whole place. Closed doors, I don't know if closed doors was here in the last one. This is my iron farm. I'm still trying to figure out something to put on the designs, but it looks a lot better than it did before these paths were in. But you start to get this idea. Oh, I left this running. As I was saying, you get a little bit more of a cohesive idea of just how this place is going to feel. I want it to feel very bright, very light, very I want it to be good vibes, I don't want like dark, sadness, evil. I want joy and good times. This is like my third space. This is just, this is a place that we go to calm down. So today I do have a plan for what I want to do, but I don't have an idea of how it's going to turn out. What I want to do is I want to make a clock tower. Lately, I'm going to get into it a little bit later, but a really big, kind of mantra for my life lately has been time. And I want to make a clock tower. Just no purpose to it, just a clock tower. I was thinking about giving it a purpose and making it like a little AFK room over here, but the issue is I don't think it would look good back here. So my plan is to find a place to put it. I know kind of what I want the vibe of it to be. I want to keep it separate from over here because we already have a lot of really tall buildings over here. And so I think that would logically put it like right there, but I have a plan for right there. And so that might put us like here, but I don't want just a line of skyscrapers. And we could put it over there, but with my idea for how it's gonna look, I think it would just distract from the house. So you got, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. I do really like the idea of having it in line right here. Maybe right here, honestly. I can move this land to my whims. And I think just having a tower right here, I think that would work. Yeah, I'm starting to see it. Yeah, no, right here. So it's a little bit less complete over here without a lot of the foliage and stuff. But the idea that I'm kind of hovering around is birch and oak for this. The thing about that is we've already got a lot of that kind of vibe going on. And so this isn't going to be what it looks like, but just to run a quick test of how this would look. My thought process is I don't really want, like I want to use these browns, I think, but I don't want to get any darker than like a spruce. So is that, well, this runs into the different issues. I don't really like that, but I don't want this to be dark colors. Partially because we have a lot of dark colors right there and I don't want to ruin the kind of pop that it has, but also just, I do a lot of building with dark colors, you know. I consider Mossy Times to be darker colors, Ikinigo's darker colors, this is mostly darker colors, this is dark, you get the idea. I really like building with super light colors. Maybe if there was some detailing. So when you look at real world clock towers, you get a lot of super ornamental designs. So, well, that leads me to thinking, see, originally I like the idea of just the oak, but I kind of feel like we need more color than that. That makes this a lot less bland. This is actually based on a build I had in a realm. And I'll put that on the screen. So now that I've got that taken care of, I've got to kind of just pool my resources. So, also I just realized that I had the fan on during my first take. Oops. But I've gotten all of the resources that I need together, and so I've laid out just like the foundation. I've got everything I need in this chest, and really, I don't see anything to do but just to kind of jump right in. Right, so there's been a bit of a break since my last upload, and I mean, it's been a few weeks, and I think that kind of necessitates an explanation, because it really is a life got in the way moment, where I didn't finish editing the last episode, like I said, and it really sucks. I did really like that episode. I really liked the build. It's one of my favorite builds, and I just kind of, through the last few weeks, I've kind of hit like a really bad depression where I haven't really wanted to do a whole lot. You know, it's a bit personal. What happened is my girlfriend of a year and a half, my first relationship, broke up with me and got with my best friend. And then, like, at school, there's this whole thing where there were a bunch of rumors being spread about me, a bunch of things that weren't true were being said about me. And, like, everything's been dealt with, but I've been in a really bad mental state because of it. And I just haven't had the motivation to, it's the dumbest thing, literally just play Minecraft and make a video. And so, like, that got in the way over my entire spring break. And then, like, the week and a half afterwards is whenever I found out about everything else that had been going on. So for spring break, I was just dealing with a breakup, you know. And then, you know, it was also right before prom. It's the end of my senior year of high school. And so it was all that into my AP exams, like getting more college stuff sorted. And so I've been just one thing after another, and it's been an opportunity to just kind of reassess how I've looked at a lot of things. And I'll probably go into this a little bit more on like a stream, but it's been just like a real chin up moment, you know, just like a lot of reframing how I look at life, a lot of reframing how I look at myself and the people around me. Just like a lot of changes in my life philosophy and just kind of wanting to put out a lot more positivity into the world. So we're definitely at a trust the process moment here. Huh. I like the little, right, I like this little build up bit, you know, and I like the clocky bit, you know, this, like, this isn't as bad. I'm hoping that it comes together after I put on the roof. This is based on a build from a realm that, you know, during the time lapse, I mentioned my ex and my best friend. That friend is the one who owned the realm, and so I'm trying to kind of reclaim it. And you know, I'll probably eventually put that build, the original build, somewhere here. But I wanna, you know, just like this was also from a realm. This was just plucked out and put in here. This I'm trying to give a spin, you know. Clocks and time right now for me are a really big part. Like time, like I said, time is a mantra for me right now, just because I'm going through that healing process. And then also I have graduation coming up. I'm going to college this August. And so I just want to do something about time, you know? It's a matter of time. It's about time. So what you might have noticed during that time lapse, and this one, is that I have installed the replay mod. And so I'm hoping that it wasn't too much vertigo. I'm still trying to figure it out. What you might also notice is that this time lapse includes me destroying the clock tower because I decided I didn't like it at all. And so you can see me just rebuilding it ground up, and overall I'm a lot more happy with this version. I realized that I hadn't made it big enough at first. I just kind of made the sides all connect the same way. I needed a little bit more space. I had to make it a little bit more faithful to the original, and that roof gave me such a hard time. Oh my dude, that roof was such a nightmare, man. And so you're gonna start seeing that all go back in, and I think it's really symbolic because, you know, like, this is kind of a symbol of my grief. And grief isn't a particularly linear process, you know? You go back, you have to try things again sometimes. And so I'm just trying again, you know? Not always gonna work out the first time, but progress is progress. There's gonna be those days where you feel like you're going backwards, and there's gonna be days where you feel like you're doing everything right just to realize that you did it wrong. And that's okay. It's a process, you know? But the way that things were in the past isn't going to define our futures. Just like in this Minecraft build, the original version isn't going to define how the eventual final product looks. The final product looks a lot better than it did while it was still in progress. No matter how hard the battle may be, no matter how rough it is, it's going to work out in the end. And that's just something that you gotta keep in mind. Just like you can see here, the roof. The roof eventually works out in the end, even though I had to do it off camera. I'm realizing now I forgot to put up the lanterns. Yeah. It's giving wizard, right? It's giving time wizard. I can be happy with this. I can be more than satisfied with this. I might look into doing something with those edges just to get, like, more lanterns up. But I like this. I like the way that it looks. There's a few angles that looks odd from, like, right here. I don't like that little bit. But also, how often are you gonna see it like that? Also, like, up close, the roof kinda, but you're not gonna be looking straight up. I might need to just, like, decorate the sides a little bit. That roof, don't ask for a tutorial. It was made on hopes and dreams, and it still doesn't look right from all the angles. But eventually I caved and I just made it look for the important ones, which is really my advice for doing something like this. So, like, I can go all the way down here. This is one of the main angles you're gonna see it from, right? And it looks cool. That looks so cool from over here. Like, I have a few sightlines in my world that I try to preserve. Like, up here is... Oh, that looks so cool. But if you look at sightlines like this, This is one of my favorites. I love to see my world from here, and it fits in. That looks so at home. Dude. But since it's getting filled, I'm trying to, like, migrate more over to here. And that's still just... Oh, man. I like that. A question I see a lot of people ask, like, online, is just how you keep going with the forever world. Because that's what this is for me, you know? And I think so much of it is just staying inspired by wanting to see it grow. So many people who who play this game, like, don't make building a priority, when that's really such an important part. Like, it doesn't need to be good buildings, it has to be buildings that you like. It's about making things not just to make them, but because you like them. And so many of my projects here are just kind of little passion projects. I've got a big one that I'm planning to go right there. And then I've got, there's projects that I just kind of drop if I don't like them. I think there's, like, multiple episodes that I haven't uploaded. The house almost never got finished because I'd already built it, and so I just wasn't feeling too inspired with it. We're doing this inside today. Today's Come to the Day comes from that name, which was actually left for the episode that I didn't publish. It says, "The cheese looks amazing. Do you do tutorials?" I should have kept in that bit at the beginning. So, there you go. I feel like I spend a lot of time at the end of episodes talking about how much I love my world, but that's because I do. And I hope that you do too. And if you do, maybe you like and maybe you subscribe so you see more of it. Because that is where we're going to be ending this episode. So thank you so much for watching. And I'm hoping to see you in the next one. That's all I got. See ya.